Hey, welcome back, everybody. I am very delighted to introduce Willie Santiago. He owns a company, GSJ Services LLC. How you doing, Willie?
Hey, doing awesome, Didier. Glad
Good
to
to
be
have
here.
good, absolutely good to see you again. Good to have you on the show for our first time. Just so for our listeners, this show is all about where we dive into stories, and
Mhm.
talk to successful business owners like Willie, and bring you insider tips straight from the experts. That it doesn't get any better than that, right? And I'm your host, DDA, and every episode we sit down with business owners from diverse industries to uncover what makes their companies thrive. From behind the scenes insight to practical advice, this podcast is your go to resource for learning about the services you use every day and discovering ways to get the most out of them. So, whether you're a curious consumer, a budding entrepreneur, or just love learning about the business, you're in the right place. Let's go ahead and get started. By the way, if you do like this content, please feel free to subscribe, like, and comment, as this will be pushed out in the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm. So, with that being said, let's talk to you about your background. Talk to us,
All
Willie.
right. It's funny. I was born on the beautiful island of Manhattan.
Uh, you can't beat
way,
that.
way back when I lived there for 30 years, and I moved to Florida in '89. So I've been here almost 36 years. Um,
Wow.
the reason I got into the business I'm in is because I was a travel agent in a previous life. When I moved to Central Florida, they said I needed to, I transferred with the same company, but they lowered my salary. So I purchased three cleaning accounts to make ends meet. And pretty soon I was making more money at night working a few accounts than I was during the day. And that's how I got into the world of cleaning.
Wow, that makes sense. And the world of cleaning can go so many different ways, right? Whether it's
Mhm.
pressure cleaning, dry carpet cleaning, there's just an endless towel and grout cleaning as well. But we want to focus this episode more so on, talking about the quick dry or regular carpet cleaning. Can you share with our listeners how does quick dry carpet cleaning, what makes it unique compared to the other carpet cleaning?
Well, it's an encapsulation system that I use. It's so much better for the carpet and for the environment rather than the wet system. With the wet system, hopefully when they clean your carpet with the wet system, they don't overspray it. So a lot of times you'll have to wait maybe a day or two before the carpet is completely dry. Whereas with the encapsulation system, I spray the carpets uh, lightly. The brushes on the machine clean. The they push the chemical down to the bottom of the pile, and then once I'm done cleaning all angles of the carpet, then I suck it up. And by the time I'm gone, most of the time, your carpet is dry. And I treat all types of different stains separately. Whatever the encapsulation system doesn't get out, I have sprays for various different types of stains.
And those stains can be pet odor stains, right? Dirt stains, like all
Correct.
different types of stains, which you have an application for to treat, correct?
Right. I have done offices where the copier has exploded and there's been ink everywhere. and,
Wow,
and
what a
so I've
mess.
been called in. That I deal a lot with builders, and I clean the carpets in the model houses. And so I've gotten calls for that. I've gotten calls for painters knocking over cans of paint. So I've had to
Wow.
extract paint from carpets. I've had roofers walk in through the windows and track roofing tar on the brand new carpet, and I've been able to get that out. And then I normally get out urine stains from kids, from pets, and I
Mhm.
have odor treatments as well. And so I get out about 99% of the stains that I have to deal with.
Well, that's pretty awesome. Is there any types of tips you could provide our listeners when it comes to regular maintenance, for your carpets, for
The I've done thousands of houses over the years. I've been doing this basically full time since 2000 when I left my corporate world employer. And I've seen the cleanest houses are always the ones where they take their shoes off when they come into the house.
That's
And
great advice.
exactly. So if you can keep your shoes off the carpet, that'll help keep the dirt out because most of the time the dirt is brought in on and it's on your shoes. And
Right.
so if you have what I would suggest if you don't take your shoes off is to have a wet carpet for the outside of your house. So when it rains, you want that because you can dry off some of it. And then when you walk into the house, you need a dry carpet, a mat, and that'll help keep your you can finish drying off your shoes there and walk into the house if you don't take off your shoes.
Wow, that's great advice, Willie. And you don't think about that too. You're bringing in so much dirt from the outside, and you bring it in. And if you do have carpet in your house, that just brings that dirt inside too as well. And it can what's the word? It can continue to build up over
All
time.
right, you see traffic paths all day when you're cleaning carpets. You could tell where everybody walks the most, which is normally like from the bathroom. If they have carpet in the bedrooms, you can see the path from the bathroom to the bedroom, and
Mm.
especially the kitchen to the living room. And
So
unfortunately, those are always the highest traffic areas where I see the most dirt. And again, most some people put down mats like runners, and that also helps keep those type of areas clean.
in terms of preventive maintenance, I love that, using mats. What are some common cleaning mistakes homeowners make when it comes to cleaning their upholstery or cleaning their carpets? And we'll talk about upholstery here in a few
Mhm.
minutes.
When they clean the carpets, I've always advised people to use a sort of spot remover with like say an oxy clean type of peroxide based cleaner. The mistake I've seen is when they've used the cleaner too much, and so you really should try to spray it on lightly or spray it onto a piece of white cloth, white terry cloth, and dab out the spot rather than spraying massive amounts of OxyClean on a spot and then leaving it there, and then it doesn't all come out, and then that's when you get like circles around and constant re-wicking of the spots.
And especially if you have pets, I've noticed this too, that when you run that vacuum cleaner on a rug, say for instance, a rug underneath a coffee table in your living room,
Mhm.
it is amazing what 1 week of pet hair can build up in your carpet.
One of my daughters, I have four daughters and a son. one one of my daughters has a German Shepherd. You have to run it every day. If you don't run it every day, that dog sheds like crazy.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Are there any specific signs, speaking with our listeners or kind of educating them, that indicate it's time for a professional cleaning? Anything that stands out?
I would say, you can vacuum so much, but if you have pets, children running around, I would suggest every 6 months. If you don't have children running around, if you don't have pets, a year is most of the time is sufficient to keep your carpet clean because my machine really, it it goes down to the bottom of the pile. It really brings out a lot of the dirt. And if you don't have much of it, uh, you should be fine with a year. But if you do have children and if you do have pets, some people have me clean every 3 months just because
Okay.
the amount of shedding that their pets do. And they
That
get
makes
sick, so they call me in between to help with that. I've got different cleaners. I have an enzyme-based cleaner, which is excellent for carpet cleaning, for getting rid of urine spots, because the enzyme will keep on treating the killing the bacteria that's in there, the odor-causing agents.
I that's very interesting. And there's upholstery. You also do upholstery cleaning. What challenges come with upholstery cleaning versus carpet cleaning?
The main challenge with upholstery cleaning is the pet hairs getting stuck in the fabric. I mean, leather is a piece of cake. I mean, I really don't do leather because it really doesn't need to be cleaned.
Right.
Most homeowners, they have a cream that they can get at the store and do it themselves. Now, if they haven't done it in years, then they give me a call and then I apply the cream, and basically it's apply the cream, wipe it off with a microfiber, and you're good to go. And I have a steam machine that I also use in conjunction with those for the leather cleaning. But with the fabric furniture, I suggest you get leather furniture, because if you have pets, it takes me forever. I had a Dalmatian, and her little white hairs would get into every single piece, and it would take me forever to get, no matter how much I brushed the furniture, it would get stuck in there. So the main thing is, when I was growing up back in the 60s, it was I don't know if you remember, my mother used to put plastic coverings,
Oh
plastic
yeah.
furniture. So the only thing is, you're sitting on plastic.
And then you get up.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you get up and you're actually taking the plastic with you out the room.
right. But if
That's
you
so
have
funny.
if you have pets, definitely get, and if you have fabric furniture, you probably want to look at getting that professionally cleaned every six months. Because you're always going to have spills. A cat will get on and spray the furniture, or a dog that will walk by the furniture, and on the side of it they'll leave like a pound of hair.
Yeah, that makes a sense.
And so,
Willie, go ahead.
and I was going to say, so it's much tougher to do the upholstery than the carpet, because
Okay,
on the
that makes a
carpet
lot.
the brushes do all the work, but on the upholstery,
Upholstery.
basically I do it manually. I have a pet brush, and then I have an upholstery cleaner that does a pretty good job vacuuming the stuff out as well.
Well, Willie, thank you so much for taking time to be able to share your insight and your business with our listeners, to kind of help them prevent some of the things, when it comes to pet dander, when it comes to all the other like dirt that comes from the outside, and what you have to actually help clean the upholstery as well as the carpet cleaning. Can you, as we wrap up, Eric, can you provide our listeners with your phone number and a way to get a hold of you?
Sure. My phone number is 407-538-7159. That's the only number I have, because I don't have a website, but I do have an email, Willie, WILLIE, at destroyerofdirt.com.
It doesn't get better than that.
I made myself a superhero.
I actually like that.
Yeah.
Well, Willie, thank you so much for your time, and hopefully we can have you back in the near future.
All right. Yeah, we could talk about pressure washing as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to First Media Consulting Podcast. If you enjoyed the podcast, subscribe today. To nominate a business you would like to recommend to be on our show, go to firstmediaconsulting.com or call. Thank you for listening.